Dear students, welcome back to our chemistry class. So dear students, in today's class we will going to talk about some other properties of acids and bases. So in this class, let's discuss which are the concepts are common for acids as well as bases. So in this we will going to talk about the conducting electricity. Okay, whether our acid is containing electricity or not, whether our base is containing electricity or not, so we have to conclude in today's class. Okay, with this we will going to talk about some other aspects related to the acid as well as bases. So dear students, be ready and let's talk about another properties related to the acids and bases. Okay, so in today's class, as I told, we have to confirm that whether do all acids and all bases have common, anything is common between them. Yes, some concepts are common for both the acids and bases. So what are those? Let's discuss. Okay, so here you can see both acids and bases are electrolytes. Electrolytes means it is a good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity means the electricity passes very easily through these solutions or through this medium. Okay, so these are the good conductor of electricity. And why it is a good conductor of electricity? Because both are producers ions. Yes, both are producers ions. As you know that acid is producing H plus ions and our base is producing OH minus ions, that is a cation and anion. So these are the good conductor of electricity. So as I told, acids releases hydrogen ions as H plus, whereas bases releases hydroxide ion as OH minus. Okay, so let's confirm this thing. Yes, we have to confirm this thing whether the acids and bases are producing electricity or not. Okay, for this purpose we have to do one activity. So for this activity we need some apparatus. What are those apparatus? Let's discuss. Okay, so you can see here this image. What you can see in this image? In this image one glass beaker is there. Yes, this is the beaker. Okay, this is the beaker, and with this we are going to do some arrangement for concluding the observation. Okay, so just check whether it is conducting electricity or not. So we are going to fix nails on the cork. Okay, you can see here at the bottom of the beaker, this is the rubber cork, and in this we are going to fix two nails, and as well as you have to place this cork into this beaker, and after that you should connect into the electric circuit. Okay, this containing is 6-volt battery. Okay, with this circuit is containing bulb and the switch. Okay, and dear students, what is the main thing we are going to conclude here, or why we are doing this activity? So dear students, when you are going to perform this activity, when you are pouring the dilute HCl, what is this HCl? It is an acid. Okay, if the HCl or acid is a good conductor of electricity, at that time what happens? Your bulb will be going to on here. When you will going to put the switch on, your bulb will going to on here, or it will be glow. Okay, it will be glow. But if it will not glow, then our acid is not good conductor of the electricity. Is it? As well as this same experiment you have to do with the other solutions like glucose and the alcohol. Okay, if they are conducting good property of the electricity, then it will be also glow. But let's see what happens at the end. Okay, so what I have explained, I have given you in the points. You can see here. So take a solutions of glucose, alcohol, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid. So these are the two of the acid solutions are there and the rest of the different solutions. Okay, so at that time what happen you have to do, you have to fix 2 nails on the cork and place the cork in a 100 ml beaker. So you have to take the 100 ml beaker, fix the cork into the nail and then set up into the circuit diagram as you can see here. Okay, then connect the nails to the 2 terminals with the 6-volt battery through a bulb switch. You can see here. Okay, then you have to conclude what you are going to get here. So you have to pour the HCl solution into the beaker. So you can see here, this is the filled with the HCl solution, is it? So you can, yellow color, red color is there, no, it is a HCl solution. What happens if you are going to repeat this solution again and again? So 1 at 2 times you have to do, then only you will get the observation. In sudden when you will go for the results, it will not going to come here. So at least you have to do at least 2 to 3 times or twice or thrice. Okay, so let's check the observation. So what are the observation? Let's see. So here as I told, the bulb will going to start in the case of acid. So you can observe here, the bulb is going to glow. Okay, the bulb will going to glow here. You can see here in the form of yellow shades. Yellow shaded are there now. So that's why the bulb is glowing there. Okay, so in the acid cases it will be going to glow. But you will observe that glucose and alcohol solution do not conducting the electricity. Yes. So when you are going to repeat this experiment with glucose and the alcohol, your bulb will not going to glow. So what is the meaning of this? That they are not good conductor of electricity, whereas acid is a good conductor of electricity. So what is the meaning of the glowing? It shows that the electric current through the solution. Okay, and the electric current is carried through the solutions by the ions. How it is carrying the current through the solution? Why? Because it is conducting ions. So what are those ions? That is a H plus or cations. So this is the main concept here, dear students, that acid is containing H plus ions. Okay, and which are the responsible for their acidic property? They having the HCl having the acidic property, it releases the H plus ions. That's why it is conducting the electricity. So dear student, this is the concept that acid is containing the electricity. They are the good conductor of the electricity, or they are good electrolytes. Electrolytes means which conducting the electricity, or the medium is called as the electrolyte. So HCl is the very good medium or very good conductor of the electricity. Okay, so dear students, with this concept we have to confirm that it is important for 2 marks. Okay, this question is this diagram itself, it is important for 2 marks, that draw or show the solution that acid is containing electricity, and you have to show in the form of beaker HCl, and you have to as well as show the connection that this circuit is containing battery as well as solution as bulb as switch. Okay, so these are the basic things, dear students. So don't lose your marks if the diagram can be asked. Okay, so now I have done. Okay, this is very simple activity. When bulb will go, that is the meaning of that acid is containing the electricity. Okay, now let's talk about second aspects which we will going to discuss here, that what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution. Okay, when you are taking something ionic compound, when you are adding acid, what happens, what is the conduction, what is the situation at that time? Let's discuss about some aspects. Okay, so dear students, in today's concept, first we will going to discuss about the preparation of the HCl gas. Okay, how you are able to produce the HCl gas, not from the HCl, we are going to produce the HCl gas from using the different acid, that is the H2SO4 plus ionic compound as sodium chloride. So in the diagram you can see here that a test tube. Okay, a test tube is there and it is containing the sodium chloride, that is the ionic compound. When you are going to pour the H2SO4 into the sodium chloride, when you are taking the H2SO4 and you have to pour into the sodium chloride, what happens at that time? You can feel that some effervescence are coming from this delivery tube. Okay, some effervescence or some gases are coming out from the delivery tube. Then you have to observe that whether this is the HCl is a acidic in nature or which nature it have. So for doing this thing, you want some indicator. Yes, so for the indicator purpose, we have taken here the blue litmus paper. When the acidity property is there, the blue paper or blue litmus paper will going to convert into red paper. Okay, so let's do this thing. Okay, let's see what are the observations. So dear students, here some are the points that take about 1 gram of solid NCl, that already I explained, and dry test tube. Yes dear students, while doing the experiment it should be neat and clean as well as dry also. Okay, otherwise the effervescence will not come. If your tube is containing water or it's having some particles of water, then the ionic compound will be going to soluble there. Okay, so you will not get the proper result. So the test tube should be dry. Okay, now you have to add some concentrated sulfuric acid to the test tube, as well as what you are going to observe, is there any gas coming? Yeah, we are feeling that yeah, some gas are coming. But what happened? The gas evolved successively with dry and wet blue litmus paper. Okay, so in which case does the litmus paper change color? What happens whether our litmus paper is changing the color? Let's talk about the observation. Okay, so in this observation let's discuss. Okay, so dear students, our litmus paper will not going to change here. Yes, our litmus paper will not going to change here. So why it is not changing their color? So you have reason. What is that reason? Let's see. Okay, so the experiment suggested that hydrogen ions in HCl are produced in the presence of the water. Okay, when you are having the water, then only this H plus ions is releasing. Okay, so the separation of H plus ions from the HCl molecules cannot occur in the absence of the water. Okay, if water is not there, then HCl molecule cannot be done. Okay, so in the absence of water, what happens? The separation of the H plus ions from the HCl is not possible. So you need water. Okay, you need water. So when you are going to add this water, what happens at that reaction? Okay, so the reaction you can represent it as HCl plus water. So it shows the hydronium ion. This is the H3O. It is a hydronium ion plus Cl minus. Okay, so hydrogen ion cannot exist alone. So dear students, hydrogen cannot exist alone. Okay, but they exist in the presence of the water. Okay, when you are combining the water, then it is produces or it releases the H plus ion, and later on it will be going to convert into H3O plus. Okay, this is the hydronium ion. Okay dear students, this is the hydronium ion. So once again I am going to repeat this. The experiment suggests that hydrogen ions in a HCl are produced in the presence of the water. When water is not present, it is not releasing the HCl ions or HCl. Okay, so when it is possible? It is possible when you are going to add some little amount of water, then only this experiment can be done. Okay, so dear students, I hope you got the idea what happens in the absence of the water with the acids. Okay, so what happens when you are going to dissolve base into water? Okay, you have learned about that what happens when you are going, when acid is not there, or sorry, when water is not there, but what happens when you are going to add base into the water. Okay, so you can check some relations, some equations you can check here. So it is the NaOH, one of the base in the presence of the water, or you are going to add some water, so it produces the OH minus ion, and Na plus it will be going to aqueous. Okay, water will be going to different and OH minus is going to be different, as well as KOH. Similar properties are there for sodium as well as potassium. So same reaction, K will going to potassium will going to separate it from the OH minus ions. Similarly for the magnesium, that is the MgOH2, that is the Mg plus 2 will going to separate here, and the two molecules of the OH minus will be going to different here. So these are the some examples we have done. Okay, now dear students, thus Na, K, which type of elements are there? It is the alkali metals. Alkali metals. Okay. So by looking to this reaction, what you can write that bases generate hydroxide ions in a water. Bases which are not soluble in water are called as the alkalis. So bases, dear students, some of the bases which are soluble in water. So you can see here Na will going to aqueous, K will going to aqueous, or potassium will be going to aqueous, Ka plus also will going to aqueous here. Okay, so what happens at that time? It will be going to become alkali. Okay, so you can see here all bases do not dissolve in water. Okay, all bases means if you are considering all the amount of the bases, it is not dissolved in water. And you can observe here that which are the elements or which are the bases which is dissolved in water. It is called as the alkali. Okay, alkali. So what are the properties of these such type of bases? Let's discuss. Okay, so alkali is the base which dissolve in water. They are a soapy to touch. When we are going to it, it will be sleepy or soapy to touch, and as well as when you are going to taste it, it is a bitter in taste and corrosive. Okay, corrosive means it's having some FbOH property or corrosion particles. Okay, so these are the some basic concept related to the acid as well as the bases. Okay. So dear students, let's discuss about the when acid plus base will going to combine here. So what you can form here? It is a what is this? It is a neutralization reaction. In last class only we have done that formation of the salt will be performed by the neutralization reaction. So HX plus MOE plus it gives the MXBHOH. Okay, so these are the neutralization reaction. You can represent it in the form of H plus and as well as OH minus. It is in the dilute form and it gives the H2O water. Okay. Now dear students, here one activity is there. What happens when you are going to take some amount of acid? Okay, so dear students, what is the activity and what is the purpose of the activity means you have to take some acid, and whether you are going to add into acid into water or water into acid. Okay, this is the main concept which it can be asked for 1 marks or 2 marks, that what happens when you are going to add acid into water or you have to add acid into water. Okay, so for this purpose one activity is there, then you can understand this thing. Okay, so you are going to take 110 ml of beaker, you can see here, as well as you are going to add some amount or some drops of the concentrated H2SO4, that is the acid. Okay, you have to stir it properly. So let's see what will be the going to observation here. Is there any change? Is there any physical change, or is there any temperature change, or is there any endothermic change? Okay, so you can observe that same picture, and what you can observe, that the process of the dissolving of an acid or a base in a water is highly exothermic one. Okay, so the process of the dissolving in acidic or base, maybe it is an acid, maybe it is a base, it is a highly exothermic reaction. Okay, and you have to care yourself. Okay, so care must be taken while mixing the concentrated nitric acid or sulfuric acid. When we are going to take any one of the acids, so you have to take care of yourself. Okay, as well as what happens when acid with the water. So dear students, you can check the third point. What is the third point? You have to take care of yourself when you are going to add acid into water. Okay, acid into water. Okay, so what is the third point? It is the main concept. The acid must always be added slowly. When we are going to add slowly, then only you can save. Otherwise what happens? It can be break the glass. Okay, it can be break the glass. The acid is very strong, so it can be break the glass. Okay, so the acid must always be added slowly to water with the constant stirring. Means you have to constantly stirring there. Okay, so if water is added to concentrated acid, the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash out and cause burns. Okay, so if water means, if you are going to do ulta means what? You are going to add water into the acid, then what happens? The heat is generated, and the resulting, you can find out that splash and cause the burns, or the glass itself, it can be burned. Okay, so it is very dangerous. Don't do this thing. Okay, so dear students, this is the reasoning question, why we are adding acid into water, why we are not adding water into acid. Okay, so it can be asked for 2 marks or 1 mark. So this is the concept you have to write there. Okay, similar concept you have to write there. The acid is always added slowly to water with a constant stirring. If you are going to add water into acids, then it causes the heat, or the mixture will splash out and it causes the burns, or resulting your glass container also breaks. Okay, so dear student, this is the concept. Okay, now dear students, what happens with the sodium hydroxide pellets? Okay, this is the third activity which we will going to perform here. Okay, so here this is the procedure. I am going to explain here one by one. Okay, so dear students, just look at to this picture. Okay, just look at to this picture. This is very dangerous. Dangerous means what? This is the warning sign. Okay, this is the warning sign which you can observe any one of the acid container. Okay, acid container, maybe it is a sodium hydroxide pellet. So these are the very dangerous sign or warning sign for the people. Okay, so dear students, common thing, when we are using this acids which is very strong, okay, you cannot directly use such type of acids, because which is very strong, it is harmful for us, and it can burns also, and it is causes the some skin disease also. So dear students, if such type of dangerous things are there, then how you are going to perform the reaction? You have to dilute the things. Okay, you have to dilute the things. So now the concept will come of that is the dilution. Okay, that is the dilution. So mixing an acid or base with the water, Okay, you have to add some amount of water. Some calculation you have to do, means in one volume how much amount of normality or how much amount of calculation you having a calculation which will be going to across into when you will go for the PUC. Okay, so this is the dilution process. At that time what happens, you have to take some little amount of acid and you have to dilute it with the some amount of water. So there is a different calculation. Okay, so dear students, what do you mean by the dilution? You are going to take acid or base and you are going to add water. Why we are going to add water? To decrease the concentration, of acid or base. Okay, so it is a dilution process. Now, why we are using about the acids and bases? Okay, so here some concepts we are going to across here. Okay, so sulfuric acid to make fertilizers. Fertilizers means we are going to use in a crop production, dyes, that is colors, and chemicals, plastics, fibers, detergents, explosives, car batteries. So these are the some uses of the sulfuric acids. Okay, and what are the uses of the nitric acids? Nitric acids is used to make a fertilizers. Again we are going to use in the finding obtain the fertilizers, explosive, that is TNT, is a trinitrotoluene, dyes, plastics. So there is a lots of uses of acids. And hydrochloric acid, uses of dye, textile industries, food and leather industries, removing metal oxides film from the steel objects. And sodium hydroxide, it is a base to use a form of soap papers and soap papers. And calcium hydroxide is the base for used in a bleaching powder. So dear students, these are the some uses. It can be asked for 2 marks. So you can write at least 2 to 3 points. Okay, so why we are using, what is the need of the using of this acids and base? Because it is a needed in our life. Okay, so dear students, here some questions we have. Let's discuss in a very short manner. Okay, so why does an aqueous solution of an acid conducting the electricity? Okay, so charged particles are responsible. So as I told, these are the charged particles, means having a cation and anion. So that's why our aqueous solution of acid is conducting the electricity. Okay, and next question, why does dry HCl gas not changing the color of the dry litmus paper? Why the color is not changing? Already I have explained, because it does not give the hydrogen ions, therefore HCl does not show any acidic behavior and color of the litmus paper will not going to change, because we are going to add some little amount of water, then only it produces the hydronium ion. Okay, so this is the concept which already we have discussed. So this can be asked for 1 marks or 2 marks question. So you have to think it, it can be asked. Okay. Now, how is the concentration of hydronium ion is affected when the solution of acid is diluted? Okay, what happens when the concentration of hydronium ions is affected? So in this, some theory concepts we have to cover here. So here when you are going to acid is added to the water, then water will be a fixed amount of the hydronium ions present in the fixed volume of the solution. Okay, so as I told, it's having a different calculation, and it at some amount of acid you have to add some little that amount of water itself. So they having a different calculation. Okay, so here we are going to decrease the concentration of that particular ions or concentration of acid and bases. Okay. So here fourth question you have, dear students, how is the concentration of hydroxide ions affected when Axis base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide? What happens when you are adding more and more amount of the sodium hydroxide into the base solution? Okay, so here is very easy at some saturation point. when you are going to add extra amount of things, it will be not going to dissolve here. Okay, so you can observe what happens when base is dissolved. When base is dissolved in a sodium hydroxide solution, any one of the base. Okay, so what happens, the hydroxide ions increases. At that time what happens, the amount of the hydroxide ions is increases, but at some saturation point, some saturation points it will be not going to affect anywhere. Okay, because after that it is satisfied, they don't need of another amount of the hydroxide ion. So at some saturation point it will going to stop there. Okay, so this is the 2 marks or 1 marks question, reasoning questions are there students. So please take down the things. Okay. Okay, so here another concept. So show acidic characters, these are the some HCl and HNO3 show acidic characters in aqueous solution, while solution of compounds like alcohol and glucose do not show acidic character. So dear students, this you can take as a homework and find out me the answer and tell me. Okay, so till that time just search it. Okay, if you are finding difficulty to understand this concept, just contact to me, I will try to solve your problems. Till that time, stay safe, stay healthy. We are going to end our class. Thank you.